Hi Stampers, it's Stampin, Texas, and today I wanted to share with you a handy tip about the new firm foam ink pads. You might have heard about them or actually have been using them, and I wanted to share a handy little tip that I picked up at convention. You'll know when you open a brand new ink pad like this one that the pad itself is completely saturated with color. And these ink pads provide better ink coverage for your stamp, and they actually release more ink onto your rubber stamp than the old felt pad does. So it kind of stands to reason that when you first get an ink pad, it would be really a handy idea to order the reinker with it. But in case you didn't have a reinker on hand, I wanted to share with you how we can get that ink to the middle of the pad or wherever it is that you're stamping. You'll notice this pink pad that I have is lighter in the center, and that's because whenever I've been using it, where does everybody stamp? Right in the center. So if you have like an old spoon or even a bone folder, something like this, give this little tip a try. You're going to take it, and I'm wanting to move the ink from the edges back to the center of the pad. Boy, you can already kind of just tell that the color is moving, which is really kind of nice because then you can still use your ink pad if you're having to wait on a reinker. But I'm perfectly fine with buying a reinker because I really like the crisp, flawless image that it creates. So basically I'm just pushing the ink from the edges of the pad back to the center where I'd want them. You can do the same thing with a bone folder. I just didn't want to get my bone folder dirty. But the other thing I wanted to share with you also is that 5 ink colors have undergone formula changes. And that's Tempting Turquoise, Marina Mist, Perfect Plum, Basic Black, and Basic Gray. Now, they've all been fully tested and approved. Now, while using the new ink formula in the old Stampin' pad is fine, they do not recommend using the old ink formula for these 5 colors in the new firm foam ink pads. Does that make sense? So make sure if you have a reinker that if you buy the new firm foam ink pads, you'll want to use the new formula. Also, Stampin' Up! Has suggested that the Basic Black, since it's been reformulated, they do not recommend that we stamp on it on Whisper White or Very Vanilla cardstock. Instead, they recommend using a StazOn ink pad. So, I hope these tips have been helpful for you as you use and enjoy the new firm foam ink pads. Thanks so much, and for more information, be sure to visit my blog, stampintx.com.